Welcome everyone, it's 2 o'clock, so let's start this Academy session. This is the second Academy session that we are doing on basic CAPI. The first one we did last week, that was that we talked about how to add interviewers, how to monitor your interviewers, and we talked about the most simple of assignment scenarios, which is you simply set up a survey and you start assigning interviewers to that survey, either with or without quota. Now, in most cases, you will probably want to be a little more, a little bit more cleverer than this. That will a little bit more work to set up, but it makes your work a lot easier to manage. If you start chucking up your sample in different regions, or as we call it, sample points. That is the topic of today. That will be presented by Chandan from our Mumbai help desk. So over to you, Chandan.
Thanks, Frank. So hello, everyone. So I'm Chandan, working in Nipo help desk. Am I audible, right, Frank?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so today we'll be talking about sampling points and fieldwork offices. So I'll just share the agenda. So we will be covering this understanding of sampling point, fieldwork offices. Then we'll see how to create sampling points. Then sampling point with and without quotas, both will be covered. Then we will see some demos. After that, at the end, we will have question and answer session. Okay. All right. So let's move to the next slide. That is about introduction to sampling points. So basically, what is sampling point? So we can define it as we sometimes use short while working on our survey. So whether it is sampling points or test phase that are used to divide fieldwork across different areas or groups. It's not particularly for a location, but it can be also for demographics like gender. So suppose if you want to have a survey where you want to do fieldwork for males and females both, and you want a few interviewers to interview only males and assign some interviewers for females only. So you can create two different sampling points, one for male, one for female, and assign the interviewers accordingly so that they can cover the fieldwork for their defined targets. And then sampling points also represent a it's just not a area or group, as I mentioned, not just city, region, or office, but it can also be suppose just one more example, like an airport. At that, if we have different terminals and you want to assign some interviewers for terminal 1, some interviewers for terminal 2, so you can create two different sampling points, one for terminal 1, one for terminal 2, and accordingly you can continue with the fieldwork. And it is used to manage large-scale surveys very efficiently because you just break your target within different sampling points. So it acts as an assignment group to distribute workload. As I mentioned, you can break the targets between different sampling points and assign interviewers to particular sampling points. So workload is shared. So in that way, it is very helpful. So in this way, the structure of the survey, I mean, it is very easier to manage and monitor. So this is all about sampling point. Hope you all understand. And then we move to fieldwork offices. So fieldwork offices are the operational hubs behind the sampling points. Each sampling point is linked to the specific fieldwork office, which manages the interviewers working in that area or group. And this setup helps track productivity, coordinate interviewer assignments, and maintain supervision at a regional level. Or if you have created a group for some demographic at that level also, it will be very helpful. Then essentially the fieldwork officers ensures that every sampling point is executed smoothly because it is assigned. Some interviewers are assigned to that fieldwork office, particular fieldwork office. So once you create a sampling point and you say select fieldwork office, so that particular and start the fieldwork. So interviewers for that particular fieldwork office, they will be working on that particular all the sampling points assigned to that fieldwork offices. Okay. And the way we create the fieldwork office, you can see this screenshot here in your domain settings. If you go to offices, you get a add button here. You just need to click on it, give the fieldwork office name, and it will be created. And then you can use it later to assign interviewers, to assign, or while creating sampling points. We will see later when you proceed with creating sampling points and all. Okay. All right. So if we proceed with creating and uploading sampling points, so there are two different ways of creating a sampling point. On the Nfield manager, there is an option you can directly add a sampling point. You have to fill all the details like name, field, field of office, target, description, and kind. There are some options we will see. So with that, you can directly add a sampling point, or there is a way by uploading a sampling point. So in that, you have to create an Excel file. You can download the template of that Excel file, we will see later, and then fill all the details that will be in this CSV template form. So you just fill all the details, we can upload it, and the sampling points will be created. By upload method, it helps to create a bulk amount of sampling points. And suppose in your survey you have created multiple sampling point, and if you're going by Nfield manager and adding from Nfield manager itself, then it may take time. So it's better to create a CSV file with multiple sampling points and upload it. So in this way, the bulk upload allows thousands of records. That's what he mentioned here. So it will be helpful by uploading a sampling point. Okay. Okay, let's see how we can create a sampling point. I'll go to Nfield manager. I have created two different surveys. So I have created this survey. Let's just upload a questionnaire for it. All right. So this is the sample and assignment tab. Here you can see the options for sampling points. So in this, we have 3 different sampling points. Sampling point with quota, sampling point with addresses, sampling point with addresses and quotas. But today we are going to cover sampling point with quota and without quota. So we have to use only this sampling point. The rest 2 will be in next sessions. Okay. And to use this sampling point, first, as it is mentioned with quota. So we have to configure quota here. At least a target should be given. Suppose a target of 10. So in sample and assignment, you can see this sampling point with quota. This is enabled to be selected. Okay. And now, for now, if you see, there is only one tab here at the top, that is sampling method. But as soon as we select this option, it will add some extra tabs here. That is sampling point, sample, interviews, quality control. Okay. So now with this tab, sampling points, you can use it to upload a file or add a sampling point. So as I discussed about 2 different methods. So these are the 2 different methods. Add a sampling point directly from Nfield Manager or upload a CSV file from here. Okay, so first of all, we'll just add a sampling point from here. Okay. So we have these fields to be filled. So external ID. So, external ID, it's an optional. You can either give an ID, or if you leave it, it will create a unique identifier, which will be alphanumeric, like we have a respondent key. So if you want to add a sampling ID, you can just add it here. I have created a file where we have added sampling point ID, but for this one, I'll just leave it as it is. It will be blank. And yeah, we can add the name, maximum target. You can leave it blank as well, but basically it is target for this particular sampling point. Okay, if you have multiple sampling points, you want to group it, you can give the group ID as well, group naming. And the fieldwork office, as I mentioned in earlier slides. So the fieldwork office which we have created, we can select it from here for that particular sampling point. So suppose I select London. You can give the description for this particular sampling point for what we have created it. So I'll just add a short description. Now, stratum, if you want to add any stratum, this is available. You can add it here, or this is also an optional option. So you can leave it. I leave it blank for now. Kind. You can see regular and spare. These 2 options given here. So if you select a regular, then the sampling point which is created, you can use it. And spare, this is like we have an extra sampling point. Suppose you are going in a fieldwork, you use 4 sampling points for conducting the fieldwork. But in case you create a spare sampling point as well as an extra sampling points, and in case if your target is not covered by those 4 sampling points, you can use this spare sampling point to cover the target. Okay. So I'll just add it a regular one, save it. Okay, once we add the sampling point, see, this is how the ID is created, sampling point ID. If we leave it blank, then this is system generated sampling point ID that will be created, or else we can give a sampling point ID as well. So I'll add one more as a spare. So here we can give it name like SP 002. You can change the name as well, but I keep it as it is. And this one I will select as spare. Let's see what happens. So you can see only one sampling point here, and the one which we created as a spare, that is not visible. But as you see here, there's an activate spare option. You can activate that as well, and that will be visible here. We will see that later. Let's see what options we have on this sampling point tab. So you can see this upload option. You can, as I mentioned, we can upload the sampling point through CSV files as well by uploading it here. And then we have upload maps option. So for that, if your sampling point is location based and you want to share a map for that particular location, you can upload maps as well. If you select this, there will be a map option. You can upload the map from here as well for that particular sampling point. Okay. Then we have option to download all the sampling points, assign interviewers to all the sampling points, unassign all interviewers, delete sampling points, and as I mentioned, they activate spare sampling points, and last option to add additional sampling points. Okay. Now, if we select this particular sampling point, we can see these some options here as well. So these are basically the same options which are above, but this is particular to one sampling point which you have selected, like assign, unassign, replace, delete sampling point, assign quotas, assign interviewers. So we can see all these details related to this particular sampling point which we have selected. If you have multiple sampling points, you can apply the filter from here by selecting the name of the sampling point or by a description. Then suppose select name. You have options here, contains, do not contain, start with, all these filters option. Then give the name of that sampling point and search it. Okay. And this option, display inactive spares. So as we have created one spare sampling point, if you want to see it, you can just select this. It will show that secondly created spare sampling point. And in the kind, you can see it's showing as spare. Okay. Then we'll see the upload option as well. So before I move to upload it, on the first page, when we have not added sampling point, you might have seen one option. There was an option to download the template. So basically, you can download the template for your particular survey, and then you can edit all the details which we edited from this add option, and then we can upload it. So I have one created. I've created a file. I'll just upload it. Let's see. Okay. I'll open that file as well so that I can show you what details are mentioned. Yes. So once you download that template, it will be blank, but it will have these headers. So you have to fill all these details. I've created 4 sampling points with this sampling ID and the names. This is the description. I've selected Fieldwork Office as well. The targets, I have given the target, but it's not required. I mean, you can keep it blank as well, like we did when we were uploading from, I mean, adding from Nfield Manager. Okay. And this column, we will discuss about it later. This is basically a custom variable which we can add in the sample file, and we can use it within our script as well. We will see it later. For now, I have just uploaded the sampling points. And this is how it's getting added here. See, the ID SP101, 102, 3, 4. All 4 are added. All 4 sampling points are regular. Okay. Targets are added. And as we proceed with the fieldwork, and these details will get updated. Okay. Now, we have created the sampling points. If we have to go for the fieldwork, we will need interviewers as well. So you can see these options here: assigned quotas, assigned interviewers. So these are related to sampling points. This is just view details, kind of. You can see the assigned quota for this particular sampling point, assigned interviewers. But if you have to assign the interviewers, you can use this tab, interviewers tab. Once you click on it, you can assign some interviewers from here, or even in the sampling point, you get option to assign. Okay, so that is our next slide for assigning interviewers. So we'll cover that as well. So basically, I mean, we assign interviews to sampling points for the fieldwork purpose. Then interviews can be assigned directly with this within the sampling point tab, as we have seen. Okay, and we can filter by fieldwork offices or adjust based on the workload to balance the assignment. We have created the fieldwork offices, and some interviewers are assigned to that fieldwork office, which will be working on the sampling points. So if you want to filter the interviewers, you can filter it based on the fieldwork offices as well, that we will see. And as soon as the interviewers are assigned, they can see their designated sampling points on their CAPI devices. So whatever survey we created and sampling points we create, once we assign the interviewer to that particular sampling point, and interviewers, when they log into their CAPI app, when they sync, that survey will be shown to them. And within that survey, there will be all this list of sampling points which we have assigned to that particular interviewer. By clicking on that sampling point, they can proceed with the how to assign interviewers. Let's assign the interviewer directly from here, from the sampling point itself, for a particular sampling point. Once you click on the assign, it will open this page. Here you can see the list of interviewers. you can select any of it. And there is a filter as well. Add a filter, display name, passing date, number of assignment. So if we select display name, which contains, Chandan is already here. You can add filters, anything. Okay, and filter out interviews from here. And I'll just select this one and assign it. Okay. Now for this particular sampling point, you can see the column assigned is turned to true, the rest are false. So it means that this sampling point is assigned to an interviewer. Okay. Now you can check the assigned interviewers here. There is only one for this particular sampling point. We have not assigned to this, so it is not showing. And in this tab, you can also select particular sampling point and see the assigned interviews for that particular sampling point only. If you select this assigned interviews, nothing will be displayed because we have not selected for that. Okay. If you select this assigned interview, there is one interview assigned to this particular sampling point. Okay. And then we can go to this tab as well. See, earlier it was showing blank, but this time, as we have already assigned one interview, it is showing assignments. But you can see all the interviews from here and assign from here as well. Suppose add a filter. As I mentioned, you can filter out with the help of Fieldwork offices as well. So I'll select Fieldwork office. That is London. Fieldwork office. Okay. So we have this 5 interviews available. You can choose any one of it and simply assign. Now, as we are not assigning it from sampling points, here it will give us option to select the sampling points to be assigned to that particular interviewer. Okay. So suppose I'm assigning sampling point 2 and 3 to interviewer Chandan 1. Click assign. So there are two, to Chandan 1, you can see the assigned or active. Chandan 5, it is showing is 1. Okay. You can see the Fieldwork offices here. And the achievements for that particular interviews can be seen, whether they have, how many successful interviews they have taken, how many dropouts, all those can be seen here. And for now, we have not assigned any quota, so nothing here. Okay. Now assigned sampling point. So how many sampling points has been assigned? That is the same details as shown in the assignment. So for this particular interviewer, you can check assigned sampling points. For Chandan 1, there are 2 sampling points assigned. For Chandan 5, there's only 1 sampling point assigned. Okay, so this is all about interview assignment. Now, okay. So as we have assigned the interviews, interviewers. Now we can move on to the sampling point without quota option. So if you go to sample and assignment tab, sampling method, you don't see such option. I mean, sampling point without quota. But what it means is like we are not providing any quota frame or quota structure to the sampling point, but we'll have just a total target. And based on that, we'll be creating the sampling points. And for that particular sampling points, we'll be assigning some targets. And interviewers will be assigned to continue this fieldwork. But there will be no any particular quota bucket like region, gender, age, nothing will be there. So to that we call it as sampling point without quota. Okay, so these are used when predefined targets per group is needed. I mean, for this particular sampling point, we need a target of around 10. So we do not need any quota structure, but we just assign a total target. Based on that, we will assign targets to sampling points and assign interview to continue the fieldwork. Then sampling points are configured freely without any quota setup. That's what. And then interviewers collect as many responses as possible, focusing on spontaneous requirement. So they will, as there is no any quota structure like gender or anything, so they just have to interview to, I mean, any respondent. So there will be no quota target assigned to them. They'll be doing it freely. And basically, I mean, this approach is ideal for exploratory or general purpose surveys, as we are not assigning any heavy quotas or anything to this. So this is just for a general purpose survey. So in the current example, as we have covered, we just assigned a target only. Okay, there's no quota structure, nothing at all. So here we can continue, like we have assigned the interviewers as well. And you can see we have not assigned any quota to this, but in the sampling points here, as we have given a target to that particular sampling point only, and interviewers are assigned to it. So you can also assign multiple interviewers to this particular sampling point. Okay, let's assign some more interviewers. These two are assigned. Now, if we are going into field for this particular sampling point, there are around 3, check, okay, only one. Let's assign one. Suppose we are assigning multiple interviewers, so they will be working for the target assigned to this particular sampling point, not for the target assigned to the interviewers. Okay, so in this way, we can say it like it's a free intercept kind of, because there is no interviewer target given. Instead, we have target given for the sampling points. Okay, so it's, like we have option for free intercept, where we do not, I mean, interviewer do not have their particular targets. They are interviewing freely. So it's same like in the sampling point. If you give a sampling target, but we do not assign any target to particular interviewers, so they are working like a free intercept. But instead of for any quota or any target, they will be working freely for that particular sampling points, which has been assigned to those interviewers. Okay. Let's check the assignment. Arrival and departure. So these two sampling points were assigned to this one interviewer. Okay, so like if you see the target given for this two sampling points, that will become the target for this interviewer. But in case if we have a single sampling point with multiple interviewers assigned to them, so in that, as I mentioned, they will be working as a free intercept and interviewing as many targets, not based on the individual target, but for the target given to that particular sampling point. Okay, let's move to the next slide. As we have covered this now, so I mean, it will be same, but as I mentioned, in the without quota, we do not have any quota structure, like no gender quota, no region quota, nothing. But on sampling point with quota, we can upload the quota frame as well, which will be having different quota variables. So this sampling point with quotas are used, I mean, when specific targets are defined. For example, by gender or age or location. So when you have a specific target given that you have to cover 50 males, 50 females. So we'll be creating quotas for that. And the same targets, I mean, within 50 males, if we have 5 sampling points and we want to distribute 10 to each sampling points. So 50 males will be distributed within those 5 sampling points. So like that, we can give the targets to those sampling point based on the quota. And then this is just, I mean, this ensures proportional sampling, and it prevents over presentation of certain groups. Okay, and interviewers, I mean, they need to sync regularly because there is a quota included, and you have to, I mean, if they are working or there is a large quota, suppose 1,000, they are not able to cover within the day. So whatever achievements they have completed, like basic we have in the quota. So as soon as they cover their achievements, they have to sync so that it reflects within the sampling points and quotas. Okay, and that's it. I mean, it balances the data quality and representativeness. Okay. So we will see, I mean, in the demo, how we can add the quota for sampling points, how we can assign the targets to those sampling points. Okay. So the demo part. For this, as we have already selected the sampling method, but I have created a different survey for this. We can go to that. I have already uploaded the questionnaire. If you go to sample and assignment, sampling method, sampling point with quota, that's the option. I mean, as I already mentioned, I mean, for without quota, we didn't have any option, but it was same like with the targets. And this option is, I mean, we can upload the quotas, and which will be assigned to this sampling points as well. So we will see this. If I have already uploaded the sampling points because that was already covered in the previous slides. So you can see these are the 4 sampling points which I have created. And now as we have sampling points with quota, we will have quotas as well. I have created the quotas here. These are basic quotas: gender, age, region. Okay, I've given the targets. Now in the sample and assignments, we will see how we can assign the targets to each sampling points. Now, for currently, if you see in the assigned quotas, I have not assigned any target. Okay. As soon as we proceed with this, we will see, those details will be updated. We need to select assigned quotas for that particular sampling point. I have selected sampling point 1 SP101. Now, if you see this things, these fields are enabled for filling up the targets for this particular sampling points. So the total we had was 5 for each cells. So suppose we have to divide within other sampling points as well. So I'll just give 2 here. Okay, that's added. Save it. Okay, this filter. Now in the same tab, now if you see, the targets are given like this. Earlier it was showing blank. For now, we have assigned target to only one of the sampling point. That's why it's showing like this. But if we assign target to this, it will add up as it is showing this total of all the sampling points. So currently we'll be adding target for SP102. Let's assign 2 for all. The filter. Let's see, it get added because it is showing total of all the sampling points. Okay. Likewise, we can assign the quota for each of these sampling points. Below, if you see, the total is showing is 18 just because while uploading the file, I have selected 5 for all sampling points. So it is just getting updated accordingly. But if we assign to all sampling points, it will get updated because we will be assigning 4 to each. So it will just add those and accordingly will be shown here. Okay. For now, as we have covered, how to assign quotas, so I'm not updating targets for this tool. We'll move to next step. Now, let's see assigned interviewers. If yes. For SP101, there are 3 interviewers assigned. For SP102, just a sec. We can check it from, oh, sorry, it was not assigned as of now. Okay, let's assign some interviews. Might be displaying first name. It was showing only one. We have assigned target to this two only, and you can see this. These are the default one which were uploaded by the CSV files, as we have not updated it, so it's showing 5. But let's assign this SP101 to Chandan 5 interviewer. Okay. Let's do some more assignments. Okay, so we can see the assignments. There are 2 sampling points assigned to these 2 interviewers. Now you can check the particular sampling points which is assigned to Chandan 5. Similarly, you can check the sampling point which is assigned to Chandan 1 as well. Okay, let's move to assigned quota part. So let's filter only for Chandan 5. Let's see if there is any quota assigned to it. So it's showing the survey target only and not the not any achievements. Okay, so successful survey successful, nothing. It is showing just blank. So we'll do some assignments as well. Space 01. You see here we have updated the quota to 4. Okay, yeah, it is given. This particular, okay, signed properly. Signed. Yes. Okay. If you see the target of 4 given to this interviewer, and the sampling point which was assigned to him was SP101, that is arrival 1. Okay, and to arrival 1 we have given a target of 4. It is showing here. Arrival Chandan was given, sorry, arrival 2, and Chandan 5 might be having arrival 1. Yes, correct. And the target is 4. Now, if we have multiple interviewers in this arrival 1, let's assign for arrival 1. Chandan 2, assign arrival 1. Okay. With this interviewer, Chandan 2, it is showing the target is 4 itself, just because they are aligned with the target of sampling point. Okay, to the particular sampling points we have given the target of 4. So those targets are aligned to the interviewer. So they will be working, they will be working together to achieve that target of 4. Okay. Now in the SP1 arrival 1, if we see what shows here, there are 2 interviewers assigned. Okay. This is updated. SP1. Okay, the target is order. Okay, we have covered this. So if we go with this setup in the fieldwork, you just have to do the normal launch process, select all this option and proceed. I will not connect with the CAPI app, but I will show you the screenshots, how on the app it will be shown. Once you go, once you sync your device, suppose interviewer Chandan 2 or logs in his device and sync it, all the assigned surveys will be shown. Academy 65 SP quota, the sampling points assigned to them will be shown. Like for this particular interview, there were 2 sampling points, arrival 1 and arrival 2. So those 2 were shown. They can simply select the sampling point, then they will get the quota screen, and there they have to select the quotas and start the survey. Okay. Once the survey is completed, if you see, they will be coming to this again sample page, and here the counts will get updated as soon as they cover the targets. The counts get updated. Earlier it was 3 of 3. Now it will be 1 of 3. The 2 targets were completed for arrival 1. Nothing was completed for arrival 2. So it is remaining as it is. And even on the quota page, it will be updated, like 2 targets were completed. So you can see here the quota for 306 is to male is updated. So like this, it will be shown in the CAPI app. Okay. And as I have mentioned that we can also, in the first slide, I'll show you. Not in the first slide, in the first type, that was SP without quota. We have used this sample data as nearest location. So this is nothing but the custom variables which we can add to our sampling file. Okay, and that can be shown within the sample tab here. Cool. As it was showing. So this is custom variable which we have added. This is a sample variable which you can use within your script to fetch these details, these values, to show it in your script file on the screen to respondents. Okay. So these are how we add the sample variables. Okay, and we can also, like we have added the sampling points, we can also delete the sampling points. If you are not using it, you can delete it. But to delete a sampling point, you can't delete directly. If you see the this button, delete sampling point, is disabled just because it is currently in an it is currently if it has a data or in an active state, or you have assigned some values to it, so it won't be deleted. For that, you will have to blank it out and then make it to inactive phase, so that it can be deleted. Okay, so for this, we have assigned it already. You can see the assignment is true. So this is not showing the option to delete, but if you can see, this one is not assigned at all. So you can delete this sampling point if it's not in use, or in case, I mean, you don't want it, you want to add any other sampling point, you can delete this one and add it. And one more option, yes, like I have shown you, uploading the maps. So I'll show you the file here. Like this, I mean, pinpointing the location. Suppose this for terminal 1. So if I want to upload, I mean, guide my interviewer through the map, I mean, at that particular location, which is the exact point. So for that, we can just create such maps in the image format, and we can upload it here. Okay. Simply you have to just select the map. So that it will be helpful for the interviewer to, I mean, if they are visiting to that particular location, so it will just guide them. Like this, it will be shown. And there is one more option I just wanted to show you, this replace option. So if you click on this replace, you will be shown the spare sampling points which we have created. There was only one spare sampling point which we created, so that's why it's showing only one here. So you can replace that particular sampling point with the spare one. And the reason, I mean, suppose you wanted to achieve target for 50 males, but the interviewer assigned to this sampling point, and with this location, if you have failed to achieve those target, so you can replace with another sampling point which we have created for different location, maybe for terminal, like we have for both. Just replace it, and then we can see, yeah, like I have mentioned, cover both arrival and departure for that particular sampling point location. So as with this sampling point, we were not able to cover that target, so we can use the spare sampling point and assign a few other interviewers within that spare sampling point to cover that target from the different location that has been assigned to this sampling point. Okay, so this is how the replace works. Okay, and anything else we can cover? Okay, so we have seen the assigning of quotas, assigning of interviews, uploading maps. All right, so that's it. I mean, we have multiple options for addresses and addresses with quotas as well, but those will be covered in the next session. So I'll just summarize. Okay, we can go to the question and answer session later. That will be, so just, I mean, what we have covered is like sampling points, how we create it, and what is the use of sampling points, fieldwork offices, and a sampling point, how to use it without quota structures, then sampling point with the quota structures, how to assign interviewers to those sampling points, replacing, deleting sampling points, everything. So basically just a summary, sampling points helps us like structure our fieldwork efficiently, we can say that. And then fieldwork offices which are connected to that to particular group of interviewers. And also, I mean, when we create sampling points, we can assign that fieldwork office. So those interviewers over that particular fieldwork office, they can be working for that our created sampling points. Okay, and then when we add quota-based sampling, and that ensures balanced data collections. Okay, and then so these components make our data more reliable. So this is how the sampling points, I mean, we can utilize it within our surveys, in the CAPI surveys. Okay, so that's it, Frank. Over to you.
We don't have any questions at this point, so
Okay.
I think we can move on to the last slide.
Okay. So, like all these sessions, recording of this session will be available later this week. Okay.
Yes, and as I said, next week we will run the next academy, which will be about the sampling point and addresses. We will have 2 more CAPI academies. We will send out the invitations for those later this week. And, but that last call for questions, I don't see any coming in, so I expect everything is clear. And thank you for your attention. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.